How about Eric Bledsoe, the former Clipper, going back and seeing CP3? They're still friends. You know, they text one another. They're very close. Interesting game when you go back and you face your old team and certainly a close friend. And your mentor, the guy that pretty much took you under his wing and showed you the NBA game, showed you how to be a professional, and kind of calmed you down. Because his first year, he was a little erratic, the turnovers, taking bad shots, because for his size, he's such a freak of a nature athlete. But Chris Paul got upstairs in his brain and showed him the other side of the game. That's why he's also such a phenomenal start. And very impressed, because coming into this situation, there was a chip on his shoulder that I can run my own team, and knowing that Gordon Dragic was there. So both of those guys have come in and said, you know what? We both know how to play, and Coach has created a system that we both can thrive in as long as we share. Very impressed with knowing that he's come into that situation wanting to be the man and sharing the wealth with God. I think that's phenomenal for a young player like that. Yeah, and a good sample size now, Smitty, of Dragic and Bledsoe together. Why has this worked together with these two in the back?
Well, I think 3D hit it. I think also he had to play a lot with Chris Paul last year. I think being able to play with Chris Paul in playoff games, meaningful games, he understands how to play off the basketball, with the basketball, and I think he's worked on his shot. But I will say, just like we were talking about with Chris Paul, that Eric Bledsoe get a chance to learn from him. What better point guard to come in as a rookie and to learn from a Chris Paul or a young player? And then all of a sudden you have Chauncey Billups, who's in a suit, getting a chance to be in your ear and learn from. So he had Chris Paul, and then he has Goran Dragic. But I think also, Vince, we have to go and give Jeff Hornacek a lot of credit. Me, personally, I didn't think it would work between him and Dragic and Eric Bledsoe together. I think they both needed the basketball. They're both point guards. They don't shoot it as well without the basketball. It has been phenomenal how their chemistry is great together.
It's all come to fruition for the Suns, DZ.
10 new players, new coach, new general manager, new system, and a bunch of guys, when you looked at them, you say, yeah, these are solid guys. These are glue pieces. But now the Plumlees, the Twins, you know, Marquise Morris, those guys, they are playing their game. And Smitty says all the time, stay in your lane. Every player, from all the way down to T.J. Tucker, they're all staying in their lane, playing their games, playing the system, being unselfish, helping the helper. A lot of these phrases we use every night sitting here at the desk, they're doing it every night. That's why they're being successful.
On the other side of the coin, the L.A. Clippers and Blake Griffin really finding himself of late. He's talked about being confident now when he drives in. He wants to be fouled. He wants to go to the free throw line. 14 of 17 in his last game out against the Jazz. He's averaged 28.4, 11.4 in his last 7 games. Confidence can go so far. He's put a lot of work into it, and he's really honed his game, Smitty.
Doc Rivers. You know, I thought, well, basically when Doc Rivers became the head coach of the Los Angeles Clippers, it will help DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin more than any other player on that roster. Reason why is we saw all the dunks, all the highlights, all the celebrations. They still doing the dunks and the highlights, but now they're accountable for when they're making their mistakes. I mean, I love the way Doc has DeAndre Jordan rebounding the basketball, but more importantly, you can see the way Blake is approaching the game. It was just, I'm just trying to get some dunks. I'm trying to get on the highlights. Now he's starting to defend, and also now he's asking for the basketball in crunch time. That's the only problem I had with Blake Griffin. What can you do in crunch time? Now he's starting to make those plays.
And now you want to get fouled because you have confidence going to the free throw line and you can knock down the free throws. It's not about retaliating with the elbow. It's not about going out there and seeing if I can out-muscle a guy. Go out there and play smart, finesse basketball, and now you have a coach giving you the right brain food every night to keep you confident to go play basketball. Let the other stuff go. Go to the free throw line, knock down free throws. Next thing you know, there's 2 or 3 guys fouled out the ball game because they cannot stop you from getting to the rim.
You guys have seen the Clippers now under the Doc Rivers regime or the Doc Rivers coaching. What do you think? I mean, are you in?
It's headed in the right direction. It's hard to change stripes of a team that they just thought offense 98% of the time. Now Doc is trying to bring that down to 50-50. You cannot do that overnight, but you see strides, you see quarters, you see possessions where guys are making the effort. Jamal Crawford made that joke where, well, you know, Doc, I don't play defense. And you see Jamal Crawford out there trying to make the right rotations because he understands if his shot's not going in, you have to do something else so Doc can keep you on the floor, and that's the effort on the defensive end.
You know, I'm bought in. You know, I picked him to be in the finals with the Miami Heat at the beginning of the season. Reason why Doc Rivers and his talent on his team. Also, just the little things he's done. You know, there's no J.J. Redick. They're still playing extremely well. You add J.J. Redick to this roster, and you move Jamal Crawford back to the 6th man where he's comfortable. Okay, now they bring in a Steven Jackson. toughness. Matt Barnes hasn't got his flow going yet because of all this sitting out and the injuries. I think this team right now is ripe to start to pick it up. They haven't played their best basketball, and they're 5 out of first place. Not saying they'll, be having the best record, but I think they'll be ready for playoffs.
Yeah, it's a good emotional test, I think, for both teams tonight, Phoenix and the LA Clippers.